How's it going, folks? My name's Matthew, aka EZBOT, and we're back with another live stream. Today we're going to be working on some already established dub techno. So this is going to be a hangout session, work on some music, and hopefully you learn a little something, or maybe you teach me something during this live stream. You heard a little bit from the track that we're currently working on. It's very chill. This is actually a track that started during one of my private lessons where I was teaching somebody how to use the M8 tracker. If you're interested in getting lessons with me, you can visit patreon.com/EZBOT or ezbot.live to buy lessons directly. This channel is 100% supported by Patreon subscribers and by YouTube members. So if you're interested in supporting this channel, visit one of those, join the membership or visit patreon.com/EZBOT. Besides that, let's get started. Let's make some music. I really like this pattern. I'm gonna pull up the M8 cam, and so we got a little bottom cam here where you can see the M8 tracker and what I'm actually doing on here, and then you'll see the actual screen from the M8 tracker. M8 tracker, for those of you who don't know what this device is, do a little short, brief introduction to it. I'm sure most of you do. If you're watching this channel, you've probably seen me use this countless times. I've been using it for years. It's an 8-track tracker-based sequencer, sampler, and synthesizer, and it has onboard effects. It has a paraphonic chord engine, 3 different paraphonic chord engines that you can do to make chords. What you heard in terms of these Dub Techno chords, it has the minor chord is a really important chord in Dub Techno. I'm using the hypersynth, or no, actually, I'm sorry. For this particular track, I'm using the macro synth engine. If you're not familiar with the macro synth, as it's called on the M8, it's actually a port from Braids, which is a mutable instruments Eurorack module, and very similar to Platts, which was later developed after Braids. They're both no longer in production, but you'll find countless clones of these devices in Eurorack if you're a Eurorack user. Highly recommend them. They're fantastic. If you can get your hands on an original Platts, you should do that too. I have an original Platts. I was fortunate enough to work at a modular shop for a bunch of years, and so I had access to stuff like that for a long time. So I'm happy to have it in my M8 tracker. You also find Braids or Platts ported over to the Delia by Melbourne Instruments, which is sadly, I'm going to switch over to this cam really quick, sadly out of production, and I'm so glad that I snagged one before it went out of production. I didn't know it was going to go out of production when I bought it, but the Melbourne Delia is one of my favorite synthesizers that I own. It has those automatic changing knobs, ladder filtered, analog ladder filters, wavetables, and ports of stuff like Braids in it. Super cool, extremely unique synthesizer. If you can find one, they're fantastic. Sounds awesome. Highly recommend it. All right, back over to the M8 cam. Let me talk to you a little bit about what's already happening in this track, and then we'll continue to develop it. And if we're lucky, maybe we'll finish it up. I would like to just, this only needs to be maybe 3 minutes long for me to be happy with it. I tend to finish a lot more of my music, like things feel like finished songs when I write them on the M8 tracker. There's caveats to, working in Electron versus Akai versus M8 or versus the DAW. Everything is different. Everything has different sounds, and the M8 tracker has really great sounds. What I like about the M8 tracker the most isn't necessarily the sound of it, though I think it's a great sounding device. My dog's trying to break in through my studio door right now. Hopefully somebody will help me with that. But I think it sounds great. It's a great sounding device. My favorite part about the M8 tracker is the workflow. It's like the experience of making music on it. And it is a super cool device. It's a lot of fun to work on. It's very fast, and it works in an arranger manner. So the difference between like working on, say, the M8 and working on like Electron, which is the other thing that I talk about or do the most music production on, is really going to be your perception of the arrangement. And like when you work on the M8 tracker, the arrangement really feels like you're writing a song. And so like as I'm writing like a dub techno track like this, I feel like I'm starting at the beginning of a track and working my way to an end of a track. That's not always the case in Electron, where often you feel like you're working in a pattern, and then you're like making adjustments to a pattern, and you're trying to flesh out one pattern for a really long time, and then maybe you go to another pattern. Some people work where they'll, you know, build a ton of patterns, and that's how they create a song, and maybe they'll even go into song mode on Electron, which is not the most like, you know, advanced, fleshed out thing. It just arranges the patterns for you with mutes and different tempos and length, and but it doesn't have like offsets for start points, so you're not, you know, you can't really like leverage the same pattern over and over again in the same way on the Electron workflow with the arranger. So there's something about the working in the M8 that I find just really satisfying to like just make music. Dog crashing recording sessions crew? Yeah, well, that's an M8 and chill session. If my dog isn't breaking through my studio door to come in here during a session, then am I even making music? My dog gets very anxious when the babysitter's watching the kid. All right, I'm going to play this from the beginning really quick, and I'm going to talk to you about the like what I've done in it so far. It's short, so don't worry. We'll get through it real quick. Talk about a bit about like what I've done so far in it, and what I want to do moving forward. And then if you have some ideas, some maybe arrangement ideas, or even some sounds that should be introduced or stuff like that that you think is cool, feel free to share them in the chat. I do read the chat, and I do, you know, bring that sort of information into the session live. Let this play out. Okay, as you can see, like if you just look at this arrangement, you can see that this arrangement section, row 3 and row 4 are duplicated, right? They're just clones of each other. That is not ideal because they don't flow into each other really well, because I built an intro section into this pattern. And so that needs to be edited out. That's like to me, that's the most blaringly obvious thing that needs to change. I would like to have more atmospheres in here. I kind of wish I had something more atmospheric to sample into the mate, and we can build an atmosphere. I think like some sort of like side chain, like low passed pad could sound really cool, like in the background. But I'll show you what we have so far. So like as this intro is cooking up, we are working in the macro synth, and what I'm doing with the macro synth is I'm using wave paraphonic. This is the classic chord mode from Plaits and Braids, and honestly, I think this sound, this wave paraphonic section, is what sold all those units. Like a lot of people bought Plaits or Braids because they wanted this, they wanted chords in Eurorack easy, and that's what this does. And it so it like as you're moving, what's really cool, and I don't even know honestly how Tim or Dirty Wave did this, but as you're playing a chord, look, it shows down below that I'm playing, I mean, it's not necessarily a C4, like it's saying C4 because that's the note that's in my arrangement here in my phrase, but it's showing that I'm playing, I mean, it is a C, it happens to actually be a C because I'm sitting on C, but you know, it's a C minor 7 chord that this is playing, and this wasn't, when it came out, like there wasn't MIDI data that would do that. He must have mapped every value in color so that this MIDI piano thing could read that. So like he must have went through, and I don't know how long it took or like how many sections it was, but as you're changing color, let's just remember that it's at 37. So I'm gonna let this just loop right here. And check this out. Now we're playing a major 7 chord. And that's how this engine works. Color will change the color of your chord, and timbre will change the timbre of your chord. Color and timbre don't, like, these names don't change as you're changing things in this particular engine. So macrosynth is just like, it's called macrosynth because it has a million synthesizer engines in it. So let's get back to 37. Kind of cool, you know, and like, honestly, when that was introduced, the idea that I could actually see the chord value in macrosynth, it made using macrosynth be extra fun. Because not only could I, like, you know, mess with the timbre, like, even just like, that's that hollow dub techno chord sound that I just stumbled across just now. Like, is it works so well. So with like the wave paraphonic running that already, like the timbre already has these sounds that kind of sound like they're filtered on their own without actually using a filter. Mind you, Platts at least, I can't remember if Braids does, but in Platts you have a low pass gate, and so like it has like filters like built into the engines. But we have all sorts of different filter options on the M8. I mean, the standard low pass is just fine. I don't know if it's 12 or 24, I've honestly never looked. But there are other filters in here. There's a low pass that goes into a high pass, which was really useful before EQs were added. Once EQs were added to the main, I didn't really need the low pass into the high pass. But there's also, you know, there's just lots of filter options, and they sound fantastic. But having the ability to adjust things like peak filter or bandpass filter, post wave paraphonic, is actually really, really useful for creating some really good chord stabs and like echoes and even pads or whatever. Just really good for making dub. And what I love about dub is how chill. It's such a chill genre to like hang out in the space that's creating in these echoes of these washy chords, often minor triads, of course, can be anything. And that's where I started. I started on macro synth with this particular one. Usually I would gravitate towards the hypersynth because it is a chord engine. Right here is a little lead up into the next phrase. And what's cool about like how this is happening right here, and this is just like cool stuff about the M8 tracker. Again, one of my favorite devices. I would love for the M8 to be, you know, like 4824 instead of 4416, and I would love for it to have true polyphonic synth engines as opposed to paraphonic. And I would love for the reverb and the delay to have more power behind them so that they're like bigger, washier, and stuff like that. Maybe we'll get an M8 II one day. But I also love where this is headed already. Like, I love these sounds. And there's actually something really cool about the reverb that's in here. Just talking about the reverb real quick. The reverb that's in here, that kind of like, reverbs are often made up of like a series of different timing of all pass delays. And maybe that's how this is made up too. But basically it's a series of short delays, right? With filtering on it, and it creates an echoey thing. And if you have enough of them and you run them into each other, it makes this like smearing. And that sounds really nice and big and washy. There's some like really cool stuff that happens in the reverb in here that can kind of feel like an echo, even though it's the reverb. And you'll hear that at a couple spaces in this track, because I just like shove a bunch of reverb into a specific moment, and it kind of makes this like, and it's just like, it's so good for this particular style of music. But what's cool too about this is like, it's got these awesome quality of life features for like making music so much faster than you can on any other device. And like my favorite, the M8 and my Digitac 2, you know, they fight. They're head to head for like what's Matt's favorite thing to make music on, for sure. I know them both very well, and I love them both. I can't go anywhere with that. They're both so cool. But you can't do this on the Digitac. This is what my point is. So if you set a value in your like mate, like say I wanted to have this go from 0D to 4D, but say like all of these were already at 4D, right? And so like this sounds too mechanical, like that doesn't sound good to me. It's not a lead up. It's not like what a drummer would do. He usually starts off with a low velocity, works his way up. Now on like the Digitact, what you would do is you would hold down a knob and you go dot 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 dot, and you would turn the knob and you would start counting up and intervals and trying to program these hi-hats moving up. Or maybe you'd use the retrig with the velocity setting. That's the best way to do it on the Digitact, honestly. And I think it's underused by most users, in my experience, because I meet with a lot of people that are learning it and they don't even know it exists, that you can do that. But on the mate, what's really cool is you can set a beginning value. Like, so we say we're starting at 0D, which is a really low value for the velocity. And then we have this value that I want to get it to. There's a bunch of options in the mate that will help you get from one value to another within a certain segment of time. And that just makes it so easy to program really good stuff. Like just all sorts of stuff, noise sweeps, evolving patterns with pads or chords or bass lines or leads, but also just stuff like making drums sound more humanized or realistic. And so like you can highlight it, shift option, and then go shift edit, and it will do an interpolation. Interpolation is just, you know, evenly valuing stuff between one space to another and just spreading them out evenly across. So it'll interpolate across and shift edit, and bam, we get something very real sounding. I use that to work my way into the pattern. Now, when I'm like teaching somebody how to do this or doing it live on stream or whatever, and I'm talking my way through this, it might sound like it's like taking forever to achieve this stuff. But if I wanted to do this work by myself, no one's around, I'm not talking about it as I'm doing it, I'm just doing it, I fly. I can program hi-hats moving up, you know, a snare roll going into the next pattern in seconds. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, the workflow on here is the most optimized workflow of any device I've ever used. That includes the Digitact. That includes all Electron, to be honest. The difference is, you know, between the two, when I say like Digitact versus M8, and I know that's not the topic here today, but it's a hangout and chill session. I'm just going to talk about what's on my mind. The difference between the two, being that these two are my favorite samplers for sure, is that the Digitact is 4824 or 4816, and that 48 is a big deal. And I also think the reverb and the delay on the Digitact have a much more CPU given to them because it has a stronger CPU in it. So those things, it just has a more crisp sound, or like a more finished sound for those particular parts. What's really that the M8 has over the Digitact, besides this workflow, is that it has OTT built into it. So like in terms of having something sound very full and finished, the M8 and the Digitact, they go head to head. Like they're totally 1-to-1. When it comes to the reverb and delay, I would say the Digitact's reverb and delay are just more modern sounding. Funny. I love the, like, this is just like, to me, this is like, I don't even know what the vibe is with this. You're like going into the city, you're like taking a cab to go, I don't know, maybe you just got a job that you wanted. I don't know. It's a good feeling song to me. That little moment right here, I really like. This bridge from this, like, this drop. That little delay, and then the, you know, the hat's coming in, and there's a little drum break in there that's like starting to cook. And I need to work on the drum break, and we're gonna, like, this is where we're gonna start taking over, is from this section, because right here I'm like happy with what we got in the beginning, and I want to start working on this. So now we're gonna start actually doing some music production. But I really do like this section right here. I'm trying to remember, is this the drum break? No, this is the bass line. For the bass, I'm just using the FM synth and just keeping things really simple. I did change one of the operators to a wavetable, I think that's what that is. Pretty simple sounding bass. It's good enough for me. Often I do a lot of sine bass and like really, really chill, low sounding basses. I like that experience. I like how that feels to me as a listener, so I use it a lot in my music. All right, so this is a drum break that I chopped down, and you can see the chop right here. There's lots of different ways to chop. Like, there's one of these chops is like, it's supposed to, this isn't an M8 issue. I didn't even chop, and the M8 didn't mess this up at all. The sample is not perfect. And so like these intervals between these chops, like some of them aren't landing on the transient quite right. So I'm gonna go through and fix a little bit of this because I can hear a little bit of like nasty transient stuff. Right there is actually 2 hits, but I'm gonna leave it as 1. Hear that? There's a pop at the end, so the release of this sample slice has doesn't hit the 0 crossing. You want your beginning and your end of all your sample slices always to have 0 crossings. If you can, not everything offers that as an option. Octatrack does. Digitact will help you get there with the slicing. Digitact slicing is chef's kiss. M8 tracker slicing is really good. I do prefer the Digitact slicing experience because it has beginning and end point as a slice, whereas the M8 gives you a slice marker, and the last slice marker dictates the beginning of the next slice marker, right? So it's just kind of like, it's just not the same experience. It works really well, like, don't get me wrong, and it's got processing options up to kazoo, whatever that means. Way more options than it has on the Digitac. Not that this stream's all about comparing the two, but I'm just mentioning it because it's like popping in my head right now. What's cool is you can use hold edit and use the left and right arrow instead of the up and down arrow, and it will let you like zoom in a little bit, and so we can like fine tune these slices and make sure that one side or the other is in the right spot. So I think it's this next slice I need to fix and move it. So there it is. So this is the problem. This is why we're hearing a little click at the end. You can look at it right here. The beginning of it is at a low point in this waveform. So it's like, you could see it's like a square, like whatever it was when it was being sampled, however it was sampled. This is the beginning of that sample. It's got, you know, not the right spot. So if I move this over here to the beginning, we're at a 0 crossing. We get rid of that popping sound. Now check it out. When I play this sample, and this is what I was talking about, the beginning and the end having this relationship when it comes to slicing on here, is like, I captured the right part of this sample for the most part, but the next sample was off just slightly. And that's because I haven't adjusted these. I just did an auto chop. And like I said, the sample itself isn't an exact loop. It is a loop, like it is a perfect loop, but it's like not perfect. It's a 4-bar loop, but it is mildly, ever so slightly imperfect. But now we shouldn't have that click anymore. And we don't, so I fixed it. Now we can go through and make sure we just do that with every slice so we don't have any more of those little clicks and pops during our song, because that's what I was hearing a little bit. You can hear it again right here. This next, it's like starting to trigger the next slice in this slice. So I go in here and we'll just adjust this real quick. Get it right over here, and it should be good. It's doing it again on this next one. It's a really quick fix, to be honest, but it is honestly an interesting topic for those of you who are like, you know, new to slicing in general or new to slicing on an M8 tracker. It's like, whoa, that next slice is cooking, huh? Let's get that fixed. This is stuff you need to know about, because it definitely affects your music. What's happening at the end of that slice? Now I think you can, I could select a portion of this like right there, and I could process it like we should be able to do a fade out. Yeah, there we go. So let's see if it fixed it. I fixed it. Isn't that nice? So like, it's that easy to do editing. So like I went in, there was a little bit of a click at the end of that slice and I wanted to adjust that. It happens to be at the end of the whole sample. So it's like obviously a good spot for us to do that. Maybe not obviously, I don't mean to say. I hate saying obviously because it's like I'm assuming that everybody knows all the same information. That's not fair to anybody. But that is a good spot for us to do a fade out. At the end of a sample is a very safe region for you to do fades. And I think it's much better now. So let's see if we can, oh yeah, we're cooking with gas. Now I'm going to save this. I'm actually going to override it, and we're good to go. Cool. So that fixed the slice. I'm not doing any processing to this sample so far. It's just literally sliced up loop that I had on that I brought over to from the Digitact over to the MA Tracker. But we need to go in and we need to edit these chops and make them a little more interesting. Not particularly on this part of the phrase, but in the rest of the phrases, because they're just identical to that beginning of the phrase, of this chain, I mean. And we need to adjust these phrases so that they are more interesting throughout this entire chain. This is the best part of the MA Tracker. This is the fun part. This is where you get to edit, and in a very fast and fun way. And fortunately, there's some really cool stuff in like the Electron workflow that's like so identical to the MA Tracker, because now we have like loop. You can loop portions of a pattern. So like if it's an 8-bar pattern, you can loop, 7 and 8, or you can loop 1 and 8 if you wanted to do some weird stuff live. But you can do that same thing here. Okay, so we're gonna clone this and do some adjustments. And I'm gonna highlight it so we just hear this portion over and over again with the existing music, and hit shift play. It's just gonna play the same region over and over again. This is a part of a music production. You gotta listen to the same thing over and over again. Just the way it is. You know how it goes. Okay. Okay, so this is a snare hit. I kind of want to move that one. We'll just copy it and replace this one here. I do like that little... Oh yeah, because this has got that double hit in it. That's kind of clean. Let's clone this one. All right, I'll grab this slice again, and I'm gonna move it here and reverse it. Let's see how that sounds. Play mode, reverse, into the snare. I think it needs to be here. If I highlight this region here, hold edit and press up, I can move it up. Really cool. Listen to that. Oh, it's a pretty strong sound. I'm gonna bring the velocity down. Like this suction. Honestly, I could sit and chop breaks like all day. I don't know. It's like one of the most meditative things you can do in music production. It's just chop breaks. Verse them, retrigger them, lower their bit rate, filter them, and just rearrange them over and over again into a million different combinations. And what I really like doing, I'll run out of phrases on that main. I don't know how many people run out of phrases on that main. I've never asked. I haven't been able to ask the community, do you run out of phrases? But I run out of phrases on the mate because I will go in and make every single phrase unique, and like not reuse any of them on certain portions or certain parts or certain sounds. I mean, so that every single part of the song is completely unique. It takes a really long time to program that way, of course, but it's also really cool, I think. Do I need to move this up so it's like not hitting so hard on that downbeat? Oh, that's kind of cool. Because we got that clap. That's why it's hitting so hard, is because it's layering on top of the clap. And so is this. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's clean. That is clean. Let's use this one as kind of a reference point for the next one. So I copied this clone over, or I copied this phrase over to the next section, and then I cloned that phrase so I could use it as a starting point to adjust this next portion. We'll get rid of this reverse though, and this snare. These hats sound really nice because they sound really organic. Like they sound real. I mean, obviously I think they are. That little kick. Get out of here. What happens if we like detune this? Actually, yeah, let's play with the detune a little bit. This is a Dub Techno track, so it's like usually chopping up a bunch of breaks and maybe not something that people do as much, but this break is such a like empty sounding break on its own. Like there's not much happening in the break itself. It's not like blown out crash cymbals and rides that are just like, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of fits with the track. Maybe we make this snare come in late. I got too much going on. Yeah, gotta keep things clean. I mean, often I feel like some of like the best changes that I make in music when I'm like trying to, you know, working on a track is that I over program and then I have to go through and just delete stuff. And I feel like that's like honestly fixes most of my problems, is just like taking things away because I've just gone overboard with the program. Glad to be back. Drop the kick. What's up, Realist Wizard? He's so real. I don't think I want this. It's like kick sound. Actually, I think the 0F works really good on a lot of these spots. Maybe I just make a... just remove a little bit. Let's clone this one. Move this. That's the thing, it cannot go back into itself. We gotta clone this whole thing right here. Cannot go into 0F. That also has to do with the lack of kick here. We gotta clone this. This has my kick on it. There's a 0 there because I was not having a kick there. I don't know why that kick has that like buzzy rumble at the end of it. That's a part of the kick. It's only in the left channel. I like the kick though, so it's like I don't want to get rid of it. I low passed it too, and it still has that buzzy rumble. Oh yeah, we also got to clone this. And this. Remove this. That's the reverb I was talking about. Like, the reverb sounds good. It's really big. But you can hear the room. This definitely has more energy on the right channel. You can see it in the meter. Which is fine. I usually put my closed hats on a little bit to the right anyway, so kind of worked out. All right, let's make some adjustments to this phrase, this chord phrase. I don't necessarily need to even make more like hits. I just want to kind of play with the attack and release of the suction of this chord, and a bit of the timbre. I mean, maybe we'll play with the color as well, but we'll see. The attack, like I noticed, like a really great way to work on like dub techno tracks in general. It doesn't mean Amate, you know, just in general. Dub techno stuff is you don't necessarily need to make that many adjustments to the chord itself. Just playing with its like envelopes on a per step basis, if your device allows for it. Electron MA definitely does. Just adjusting the attack and the release, like making something go from, you know, a long chord with like a pull to it to a short stab is really, you know, often all you need to do, you duplicate the pattern, just play with your envelopes and you're, you know, kind of golden. So with this one, we do need to, I cloned this. We're going to clone it again. I'm going to go Shift Option, Shift, Edit, Edit. We're going to clone the phrases in here as well. We have lots of phrases, so it's like not a big deal to use these up right now. It's very early in the track. You can always go in and fix things like reuse phrases if we need to later. We're not going to run out of phrases. We have too many for this track, considering how short I intend it to be. Other songs have run out of phrases, and they were like basically like 4 songs mashed into one. So there's that attack. Now if I make it, it's a stab. So maybe what I do is I make this go suction into a stab. And maybe we move this up a little bit. That's kind of cool. Yeah. Whoa. Oh, I want to change that timbre of this one, because we can very easily get a new sound from this just by going to timbre. Whoa! There's a dub techno sound if I've ever heard one. I think macro synth might be the dub techno chord generator for the main. This is a chance. So right now I'm using the chance parameter, so it's basically like using probability on the in the electron realm, but on the M8 you use chance, and you can chance left and chance right. So you can chance an effect, or you can chance the trigger to the left. If we go into here, it'll tell you exactly what it does. Chance of note commands. First digit affects the left command. Second digit affects the right command. In the table, chance left of command. Useful. Chance thing is really useful for music like this, because you can kind of, you know, the pattern never sounds the same. This is a sample. I was like, what the? What's going on here? I forgot I injected some samples into this. Another thing I really like to do when I'm building Dub Techno tracks is to use multiple generators for the chords, not just stick with the same engine so I can get different sounds. Like this one sounds cool. It'd be nice to have some delay on it, I think. Levi, I hear you when you what you're saying with the you think the FM synth is the way because with the wavetables, and I agree that that's the most flexible. It's not the fastest. This is so fast, and it's actually really fun to like explore this because it's so fast. But I do think you're right that you'd have the most you have the most tools for sound design in the FM engine. The FM engine is the strongest synth in the M8, without a doubt. It's a very strong synthesizer. It's very powerful. It's the only one you truly need. But a lot of them are just faster at doing certain actions. Like the wave synth is really fast for making basses. The FM synth is going to take much longer to program that. Not like it's forever or anything. It's just faster. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. Ooh. I really like how that feels. Is it possible to jam live improv from scratch on the M8 without pausing the sequence? Yes. You have to know your mate pretty well, though. I will say. That sounds... Is there just too much going on from this break? I feel like there is. Like, it doesn't need all those hats right there. I do like that reverse snare into the forward snare. I feel like I'm talking about like a fighting game or something. There's still a click on that. Which one was that? There it is. How dare you? Okay, we fixed it. Overwrite. What? You still hear it? Is it over here? Oh, there it is. Okay, it's this one. What the hell? Get out of here. What are you doing? There we go. Okay, fixed. My goodness. I still hear it. Yeah, I just need to clean up these breaks because there's just like some of them are too busy. Okay. Alright, back to the fun part. These chords. We hit right here. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to do the fifth thing with this particular chord. I think this chord might be... What is this chord? Doesn't say. I think I just... Yeah, I don't know. Let's reverse the chord. That'll sound cool. Whoa! That sounds awesome. I think we need to adjust the start position though, or the end position. Yeah, end position. Yeah, that's hella cool. Get some verb and maybe even some like... Yeah. Some of that mod effects. Should stop right here. We'll put a kill in. Oh. That's so cool sounding. Should it stop here? Yeah. That repeating over and over again is actually fire. What? Oh my god. We need to do something to, like, I mean, that alone kind of like accents this portion of the song, but I think like maybe a little like some other melodic thing. Like what though? Like a little arp? Doo-doo-doo-doo type thing? Yeah. Maybe a little analog sounding arp. I have a bunch of like pre-made patches that do exactly that. Let's see. We'll go, what am I doing? Go to load. Synth. I got a bunch of, I have so many presets on here. There you go. Saw ARP. Easy. I like a lot of these patches. My only complaint about some of the patches that I've downloaded from other users, whoa, so loud, is some of them are really loud, but so many of them are just soaked in reverb and delay and saved that way into the patch, and I don't think that's necessary. I think it's better to save a patch dry and then be able to add the reverb. And I mean, obviously you can adjust the patch, or obviously, you know what I mean? But like when you're auditioning a patch and it has all those effects on it already, it obscures your audition. You know what I mean? Like you get a sense of something it changes your initial reaction to the sound. You know what I'm saying? I think it's better to do things dry. Not all things should be dry. Like your food. Your food should always be wet and sloppy steaks. Okay, so this has a built-in envelope retrigger in the table. Not necessary. You don't have to do it this way. Doing your arpeggios this way gives you a reset on your amplifier and your envelope to your filter on a per 16th note basis, because I also have the table tick set at 6, which is 16th notes. So the table is a little sequencer within your step. So this is retriggering my envelope generator to make a true sounding arpeggio, more like your classic monosynth arpeggio. There are other ways to do it. You can do it within the effects section. It just uses up the effects lane in case you wanted to do more effects. So there's lots of different ways to do this, is I guess what I'm getting at. We're going to use ARP and ARC command, and we're just going to kind of like do like this trilly arpeggio sound, and just let it ring out with delay, and we'll use it as like an accent sound. So let's do it oh, that's the speed. No, this is the speed. We need to do more than just have it do that, so let's turn it off. Maybe even shorter. We could also just have it play and then just have an envelope that's, or like an LFO that's like bringing it in and out when we want to. That's a trick I do a lot in the electron realm, but I don't think it's necessary to kind of just use them. That does sound better that way. That was just like when the third gets hit and when the fifth gets hit. That's really, I just adjusted to the third being hit before the fifth. So kind of like playing with inversions. And now we want to put like a LFO or something on the filter. Maybe just like a rising LFO, even. Maybe not. Those sound pretty cool. I don't know if it needs all that reverb. Let's use delay. Actually, we'll do it on the instrument. This is macro sound. Not enough delay. Maybe not even fast enough. What if we do it at 3? Then maybe this LFO needs to not be a triangle ramp. Set to retrig. The retrig is running it. That's kind of cool. Ooh. That's kind of cool. Even have it change right here. I think if I just change this group command. Whoa. Nice. Nice little accent. Let's see what it sounds like when there's these adjustments have been put together. I do like it. Maybe this should be here. Oh, that's nice right there. That bass, which I really do like. I like that line. Do. There's little clicks in there, but whatever. was thinking maybe like they need to be spaced out instead of it being like that like triplet right there. Do or at least those 3/16ths in a row. Let's see what happens at the end of this. Ooh, a good spot for that arpeggio is, let's move this here, clone it, and then put this here, and this goes here. Maybe it should be at the, oh wait. This should be here. Clone that, move it down. I don't know if that node off is gonna work now. I might have to put a node off in the next phrase. Let's just hear what's in. Yeah, I'll have to clone that, put a node off here. Oh, my goodness. Maybe here? Yeah, that's nice. I mean, that's cool as an accent, but now I feel like it needs to make a different sound? Maybe even? Clone the instrument. Some of these are really gamey. That's kind of nice. Oh, I like that. It's like a fifth in there, I think. What's this one doing? That's kind of cool. We want to get it to G, I think. Yeah. That was a nice accent right there. So I think I like this. This needs to change now. I want to lean into this sound right here. Phrase 22. All right. Make it like this. We'll make a new one. I want to find 22, clone it. Get rid of this. This is gonna be, we're gonna use it like put another break in right here, kind of, I think. Let's just clean it up really quick. And like, this is our bass track, I believe. Let's clone that. No. Why am I? Oh. Let's just duplicate these really quick. Yes. I don't know what it is, but I love that. Come here. Thank you for answering that. Okay, cool. Should maybe use like a noise pump at some point to kind of like transition in and out of these moments. Get rid of that clicky sound. What is it? It's an envelope thing. It's this hold. Yeah. Okay, let's do it. No, it's not the hold. The hold keeps it the sustain stage open for a 16th note. It's the decay? Is it too long? What the hell? Oh. Is it the attack? No, that made it worse. This filter. Oh, it's even worse. That's nice. Whoa. Bassline sounds super goofy just listening to it over and over again like that. There's nothing else going on here. I don't even have an envelope on my filter. What if I did? Sounding. Do I do that at some point? Do I go CG? Returning back into this does not work, but I like where the song is going. Do you save these and want to listen back tomorrow? Dub domain. Sounds like a dub lord. The dub lord cometh. Yeah, I do. I listen back the next day. I listen back all the time, to be honest. I'm always trying to refine my... Somebody said, I can hear my kid going, da-da-da. Somebody said the other day when I was, during the stream, I was playing on the Octatrack and I was just moving really quick on the Octatrack. And I think anybody who uses the Octatrack a lot, it always looks like mysterious, like how often, what's going on. There's so many buttons on the Octatrack. And the comment was, how did, did that so quickly? And I really do think like anybody who's put enough time and practice in the Octatrack, people are gonna have that same experience just watching anybody use the Octatrack. But the comment was, he's like the most practiced person on YouTube. I thought that was really funny because it's kind of like that's all I ever do is just like practice this stuff. The application is just sharing it on YouTube and doing it live. And it's all just kind of like here and now, but I guess that's what life's all about, right? Just enjoying the moment, being in the moment. That's kind of like all we do here. Just practicing. Doesn't mean I'm good, it just means I'm practicing. Practice makes perfect, but it doesn't always. Like this for the 8 bars. Let's double it. Let's go 16, but let's throw down that hat in here. Let's get this hat track. Or no, we should get this hat track. The last one you press edit on is the one that it will use. Let's clone it. Delete that. Put this in here. There shouldn't be so much reverb on those hats. Let's clone this all together and then copy it and then replace these. Let's get rid of this like duplicate thing that happens here. Oh, this is supposed to happen here too. Like this shouldn't be here. We kind of like what we're doing now is like if we listen through the whole thing, let's listen to it. Damn it. I put too many phrases in this. Oh, it's because it needs to be its own unique phrase. This one needs those back. Start back here. I do really like that part a lot. Where are these other... Let's get the timbre. And the color. Own that. And remove that. Oh, wait. Let's try something out. But then we'll interpolate all the way down. From here. And then even do it maybe with this filter and make the filter go lower. We'll go filter cutoff. Wait, it's faster just to go like this. Hit edit, go in here. Oh no, we want it to go 4 and then that's pretty cool. This velocity is way too high. Let's also make it get quieter on its way down. Start there. On this and get rid of this. We don't want that to happen all the time. It's too provocative. Yes, let's save this because I think we're getting there. Hey, Dub. 2:30. Waiting for my Trim UI Brick Pro to do my M8 conversation. EZBOT Dub Techno vid on my very short list to get started. Right on. Clone this again, and again remove, let's remove this top one and leave these middle two maybe. Let's get rid of the filter thing and go back to our attack. Going back on the attack. Yes, it's starting to really come together now. This portion is really cool. Should we sidechain this? That pad sound? Because that's really easy to do. Trig envelope, negative value, tie it to the kick. It does sound good when it repeats that time, but let's not keep doing that. Nice. Actually kind of cool with those phrases repeating like that. In that position, the rhythm there. Maybe the second one. Maybe it even does it twice? Perhaps? let's just repeat this phrase for now and then throw this clap back in on this portion, which is from 15, I think. And maybe we clone this. Oh. Come here. Clone, deep clone. And then I want a new instrument. 9. Identical to the original, but let's switch out this clap. These are... there we go. Okay, so if we go from this. I think we need to do the 16th note hats on this phrase. So that's really common in a lot of Dub Techno tracks I've listened to is, you know, 16th note, like a full bar of 16th notes of hi-hats. And you kind of just make them really small. And so we could do that. We could actually deep clone this. And then like keep these current hats as accents and fill in between them with smaller hats. You can actually just use the same hat and do it with an effects plane by decreasing the decay. What the hell? I guess I can't decrease the decay, can I? Oh, it's not even a... Yes, I can. I definitely can. Assign to volume. There we go. And now I can kind of just like, well, we can actually just use this. Give them a little bit of life, right? See how it sounds. We need to adjust velocities. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's see. What? Geiger, what does that mean? No, I have not been playing any Souls games as of late. Currently, as far as gaming goes, I was playing a lot of Arc Raiders for a while, and that started to get stale after doing a couple of expeditions and them just like not doing updates very often. But the game I just picked up was Marvel Tokon, which came out today, which is just all Marvel characters, Street Fighter style game, which I'm using with trying out a leverless controller. I'm not good at it. It's hard. I might switch back over to a regular controller for fighting games. But I really enjoy competitive games. I'm a competitive type gamer. All the games I play are games that offer ranked play, other than Arc Raiders. Didn't really have ranked play, but it's competitive in nature, just the style of game that it was created some sort of like tension. It's just much more of a dopamine hit when you win a game and it's like you get a ranked value at the end. I just enjoy that. I really do. And I also like games that are really hard to learn, or hard to master. Preferably easy to learn. But no Souls lately. Was I playing anything Souls-like? Trying to think. I'm also actually was playing Final Fantasy 16. It's funny you say that. That was on one of the free games on PlayStation Plus or whatever, and I downloaded it. Actually, I'm a couple hours into the game. It's a good game. It's a good game. I like it. There's a lot of cutscenes, a lot of video going on, but it's a good game. It's fun. And I actually I enjoy the story. You know something crazy about the Final Fantasy games? But their stories are so bizarre. Like, they're the weirdest stories. Like, they're so far into fantasy, and like they're somewhat science fiction, but they're like so far into the fantasy world. I'm not a fantasy person. I'm a sci-fi person personally. But they're so far into that world. It's so weird, just the weirdest thing. But they write good comedy. Like the characters are funny. Like I'm laughing. I actually start liking characters in those RPGs. That's a Final Fantasy thing. A lot of RPGs still can't pull that off. The Fallout series did not pull that off, other than Dogmeat. I didn't enjoy that. But man, the Final Fantasy RPGs, really good. It goes dark fast. I believe it. Well, all of the games are really dark, right? Except for 7, which is just silly. The whole environmental plot line. I'm all for environmental sciences and protections, which is what that whole game's about. But, well, for the most part, maybe I didn't get far enough to figure out what it's all about. How long have we been going for? Hour and a half. I think we're at a pretty good zone here. I'm gonna do one last listen through and then probably call it since we've been jamming for an hour and a half. It takes me really I feel like you can write so quickly on the M8 tracker, and I move pretty fast on it, and like I said, I am talking through everything I'm doing. But I'm also like really slow. I listen to the same stuff. Like, I listen over and over again to the same phrases, and I guess that's just how I function. I'm just slow like that. But I'm curious how this would sound with some of my new performance template on it, my techno template, since this is Dub Techno. Let's try it out. We need it to take over the clock, so let's turn that on. Okay. Filter sounds good. That sounded cool right there. Giving you use the Oxy. I think that arpeggio needed to have a different note in it. I think maybe those hats need to be filtered further in the background because they're a little too upfront, still a little too dancey, but it is also cool sounding. That was cool. It sounded good. Using the Octatrack as a performance mixer is my favorite way to use the Octatrack, and it really does add so much to your performance. This is fun to perform with. Like, it's fun to write music on. When Dirty Wave releases their companion device for this, it'll be so much more fun to use the M8 tracker in a live setup. It's going to be really badass. There is one last cool thing I kind of want to show off real quick. This is a ambient effects template, I guess you could call it, but it's not necessarily like really a template. It just kind of turns your Octatrack into this crazy effects processor. I just want you to hear how incredibly big these sounds are. Check this out. I got 6 presets right now. This is all Octatrack effects. Nothing from the Digitone. These are just clean sine waves. Listen how stereo that is. I think it sounds crazy. That's preset 1. Maybe we even throw another sound in here. Alright, this preset 1, this is what we were hearing. This is using like 4 tracks for resampling live. Delay on the left input. I've separated left and right to their own separate tracks with their own separate delays to give me the most control over my delay sound. And I'm building this like dub delay. Well, it's really a new version of the Octacosm. How wide and stereo that is? That's preset 1. Here's preset 2. Dry. Preset 2. Preset 3. I think that one's really cool too. Preset 4. You obviously can't make these kind of sounds on a digitone because it doesn't have these effects. Maybe some pedal company would like to collaborate with me so that I can build these effects and standalone stuff. Yes, preset 4, preset 5. Yeah, this is Octocosm V2. This is a new Octocosm. There is something I can't figure out. I can't figure out how to fix, and it's like you can hear the noise floor of the live resampling. It's frustrating. It's really light, but it's like it's there. You can see it coming in right there. That's so. Well, anyway, this is the last preset. Cool, right? I think it sounds awesome. I'd like to build it outside of an Octatrack, that's for sure. I'd like to have it in a pedal. I guess I could do it with a Daisy pedal. I could just use pure data or something. These aren't like insane things to do that are happening here, but they sound so good with the Octatrack. There's something, I don't know. It's the live resampling. I think that there's something to delays. Like delays are usually using these BBD chips. At least as far as I understand. But there's something about longer sampled phrases and then putting good envelopes on them and having them re-trigger and stretch those sampled phrases and then having them move in different rhythms. That is so incredibly musical. Running LFOs on them. And then having separate processing for your left and right channel is really important. God, it sounds so good. If you like the kind of work that we do here on this channel, we, as in me and you, visit patreon.com/EZBOT and sign up to join the Patreon. It's free. You can go a step further, join the paid tier. That will support this channel so that it stays here forever and that we can continue to do this every single week and make videos, tutorial videos and content like that. I do have a new video coming out. Probably it's either tomorrow or Saturday. I'll be dropping making Dub Techno again on modular system. It's an edited video from stream. It's a cool video. It turned out pretty great. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And some more stuff that we'll be learning and playing with. We're going to be playing with this maybe next week, the Deconstruct Minimal, and hopefully making some minimal techno on it, which I really would enjoy doing. Making any music on it, honestly. Sounds really good. I like the stuff that it has to offer. I've had it over here for a long time and I haven't done anything with it quite yet. I've played on it. I like what it does. It's cool. You know, it's a very affordable groove box. It sounds really great. We got a lot of great ideas packed into a small package. I like that. I always like a tight package. And then also the Leviathan. We're going to be playing with the Leviathan, and then later we'll also be playing with the Chaos Devices. Samkaranda, I think it's how you say it. Anyway, they're a quad delay. Big, huge Eurorack module. We're going to play with that in the Octatrack, and using it as a external send effects with the Octatrack and making some music on the Octatrack. That's also planned. So if you like these ideas and look forward to seeing stuff like that, that's what we're going to be doing in the next coming weeks. Subscribe, leave a like and a comment, join the Patreon, join the Discord. It's completely free. It's a great Discord. Really cool, fun stuff happening in there. A lot of great people to collaborate with and chat with. And besides that, you can also get lessons from me. I love to teach. It is what I do most of the time with people. I love doing live lessons online. And you can get them at patreon.com/EZBOT or EZBOT.live. My name is Matthew, aka EZBOT, and I'll see you all next week. I gotta go through this part again. I have the desktop Leviathan. Sounds super good. See you later, my friends.